like body image is something that most girls or women struggle with at some other stage in their life. I too struggled with this tremendously, but I have a cool story to tell you about it. Recently, something truly profound happened to me, and I thought I'd share it with you because maybe you've gone through something similar, or maybe this hits close to home. When I was in high school, I have no idea why, but at one stage in my life, I just really started to feel inadequate. I didn't feel good enough or clever enough or beautiful enough, and I don't really have any idea why. I had very supportive parents, I had great friends, I had a good relationship with God, but this thing just, there was this voice at the back of my mind that kept on saying, you're nothing, you're not worth anything, you're not good enough, you disappoint, you are disappointing. And obviously this maybe was something spiritual as well, but people also started to notice it, and even years after that they still comment on that, like, what happened to you during that time? And as I understand more about psychology and educational psychology, I know that it's also part of adolescence and, discovering yourself and your self-image and all of those things. But this was especially bad at the beginning of high school. I don't know why, but I came from primary school where I knew everyone and I had good friends, and then all of a sudden it's like all the numbers doubled or tripled. When we were in grade 8, we were bigger classes, there were more classes, and I kind of felt just like a number, just one of the crowd. And also I kind of felt that I couldn't compete with anyone. I don't know why. It wasn't something that originated one day. It was very gradual, and I just didn't feel good enough all the time. Like I said, I still have very supportive parents who think that I can do anything, and I think most of the things that I achieve is because I hear their voices at the back of my mind, saying, you can do it, oh, you're going to blow them away, and they truly believed in me and supported me. So it wasn't anything like that. It was just this voice. One day in high school, I was sitting in my room and I read the Bible, and I started to wonder, how God feels about me. Does he think about me? Or if he thinks about me, what is he thinking? Am I good enough for him? So, those kinds of thoughts. And this was truly one of the experiences with the Bible in my life that I will remember forever and ever. And I was just sitting in my room and I was reading, the Lord your God is in your midst, the mighty one who will save. He will rejoice over you with gladness. He will quiet you by his love. He will exalt over you with loud singing. And I remember reading that. I remember this moment distinctly and just thinking, is this what God feels about me? He thinks about me and he's delighted in me. He's happy with me. And that was truly a defining moment in my life and with my relationship with God, because I started to realize that all these voices inside of my head are actually lies. Not only am I good enough, but I'm extraordinary in God's eyes. And that was really a very big moment in my life. So fast forward a few years, when I was at university, I had what we call first year syndrome. Actually, my first couple of years of study, I really gained a lot of weight. So if you think high school was bad, now I was at university where we were hundreds of thousands of students, and I had very bad skin. I didn't feel pretty at all. Everyone around me always had boyfriends. I kind of struggled to find someone, not really struggle, but it just never worked out. And I was back to those voices again. So I remember one day my friend and I took a picture, or actually a sister took a picture or took a photo of us, and I remember seeing that photo and just thinking, oh my word, you are disgusting. You are so fat, your hips are so wide, you have so much cellulite, your face is awful. My hair, I didn't like my hair. Just everything was wrong. I just kind of hated myself when I saw that picture, or that photo rather. And I just remember thinking I have to do something, but I didn't know what. And it wasn't really about weight or skin issues per se. It was more about this thing where I kept on comparing myself to others. It was always, I just never was good enough. I was never as pretty or as beautiful or as funny or whatever as the people around me. I don't know why. It was just that thing that came back. So now fast forward about, it's exactly 10 years later. And the other day I had an extraordinary kind of holy moment. I was walking past the exact same spot where we took the photo. So I walk past that spot every day. I think I might have thought about that photo and that moment once or twice over the past 10 years. But this day especially, I was walking past this spot and I thought, oh, this is actually where we took that photo. And this is going to sound strange, but just hear me out. I saw my reflection in a car window and I thought, wow, I look really pretty today. And I just realized, I literally stopped and I just realized how far I've come. Because obviously many people have spotted this in me over the years, this idea of feeling inadequate and not good enough. And many people have prayed for me and I've prayed for myself, and I've asked God to take away these voices that tell me that I'm not good enough, that I'm too fat, that nobody will love me. And I truly just relied upon His word and His promises, and that part in that scripture that said He delights in me, that He sings about me. I mean, that's mind-blowing. As I was walking the rest of the way, I just thought about what God has done in me over the past 10 years, because all of that is gone. I truly don't feel that way about myself anymore. On the contrary, I am extremely comfortable in my own skin, and it's not a weight thing. I still sometimes have skin problems. I have a pimple like there at the moment. It's not necessarily about looks or even weight. I don't even weigh that much less than I did then. I'm 10 years older. I have more wrinkles. But it's just as if God truly, truly answered my prayers and our prayers and just took that away completely. I don't feel that way about myself anymore. I don't have those thoughts. It's really, really gone. Now, the reason why I decided to make this video is there's an extra part to this story. Because that entire day I thought about how far I've come, if you know what I mean, with regards to body image and self-image and self-confidence. And later that day I received a message from someone very special that said the following: Jackie, sometimes you might wonder if God still thinks about you. That is, if He is still there. And if He thinks about you, what is He thinking? Well, I feel today that God wants to tell you something through me, and that is the following. And they gave the scripture, Zephaniah 3 verse 17. Exactly the same scripture that I discovered on my own years before, and that I also thought about on that exact same day. So it was just full circle. It was amazing. It was as if God truly spoke to me. It was just as if He was saying, see? There are many arguments to be made for the role that the media plays and just the idea of women and what we're supposed to be and how we're supposed to be. But ultimately, I think those voices that tell us that we're not good enough is just trying to, they are just trying to break down the truth. They're trying to tell us lies. But of all the voices calling out to us, we need to choose to believe the voice of truth. You are beautiful. You are good enough. One of the ways that God answered my prayers was to send me the most loving, endearing, passionate husband. One who loves me exactly the way I am, who thinks that I'm gorgeous and beautiful and sexy, and he tells me that all the time. So I am extremely thankful and grateful for my loving husband, who has told me so many times that I am the most beautiful woman in the world, and I believe him.